All right, what's good with y'all boys, bro? So I'm finna show y'all some of the best jumpers for any builds that are 6'10 and higher. For my centers, my tall power forwards, even some tall, small forwards. Here are some good jumpers y'all can use for 6'10 and above. And the reason I know these are good jumpers are because I have actual stats provided by NBA 2K Lab that will help y'all. So I'm not just yapping, I'm not just making it up. Like, these are really good jumpers and it's proven by the actual, data and stats behind them. All right, so the first one, we will be going Jonathan Isaac for the base, Dirk Nowitzki for the upper release 1, and then Kevin Durant for upper release 2. For the blending, I have it at 40 for Dirk and 60 for KD. I use set point on all my jumpers, but you can use whichever one is the best for you. And I turn the release speed all the way up so that we have the fastest shot possible. And as you can see here, the release height grade is an A+, the defensive immunity is an A+, and the release speed is a B+. Time and stability is a F, but when it comes to jumpers for big men, it's difficult to get anything above like a B anyway. But in the fact that we have A+ in release height and defensive immunity, with the way this game is, you'll be able to shoot over people with this build with ease. Now, according to 2K Labs, this jumper has a green window of 48 milliseconds, an average make rate of 60%, with the middle average being 87%, and a peak make percentage of 91%. To equip this jumper, all you need is at least a 73 for your mid-range or your three-pointer. But yeah, outside of the time and stability on this jumper, everything else is pretty much perfect, and visually it is pretty easy to look at. When I'm using set point for my jumpers, I look at the wrist. So as soon as the wrist snaps, that's when I have to let the ball go. All right, the next jumper for the base, we're going with Jonathan Isaac. Upper release 1, we're going with LaMarcus Aldridge. For release 2, we're going with Tim Duncan. And for the blending, we're going with 66 LaMarcus, 34 Tim Duncan. For the release height, we got an A+ on this one as well. Defensive immunity is a C-, release speed is an A. Time and stability is an F. Again, I use set point for all of my jumpers, so I keep that at set point. And when it comes to the actual stats of this jumper, it has a 57 millisecond green window, which is actually very, very high. That's one of the highest in the actual game when it comes to the jumpers. And it has a 91% peak make percentage, pretty much meaning if you're timing it right, 91% of the time, you're gonna hit every shot. Now, I know that may sound like, well, if I'm timing it right, I should make every shot because it's a pure green window, but basically, the way to explain it in regular terms is like, we're talking about the difference between milliseconds. So, you may time it 5 times in a row and you think you timed it the exact same way, but it may not go in every time because it's milliseconds that we're, going based off of. So for this jumper, you only need a 67 mid-range or three-pointer to get this jumper. All right, so the third jumper that we're gonna go with, this one I made by myself, but I still have the stats from 2K Lab that can help y'all, determine if this is a good one for you or not with the actual numbers on it. This one is James Johnson base. Upper release 1 is Michael Porter Jr. Upper release 2 is Kevin Durant. And for the actual blending, we just went 50-50. Put my shot at set point again and release speed all the way up. Stats, we got an A- in release height. Defensive immunity is an A+. Release speed is a B-. Time and stability is a C. And with this jumper, you have to have at least 84 midi or 84 three-pointer. All right, so this one is lower base James Johnson, upper release 1 LaMarcus Aldridge, upper release 2 Ace Bailey, and for the blending we're going with 56-44. My shot at set point as usual, and release speed all the way up. For the stats, we got the release height of A, defensive immunity A-, release speed B+, and time and stability is a C. To get this jumper, you have to be at least 6'10", have an 83 midi or 83 three-pointer. This shot also has a 50 millisecond green window and a peak make percentage of 90%. So definitely try this one out. Let me know what y'all think about this one. This one is probably one of my go-tos now. So, all right, so another good jumper is Jabari Smith Jr. for the base, Bam Adebayo for the upper release 1, and LaMarcus Aldridge for upper release 2. For the blending, we got 20% Bam, 80% LaMarcus Aldridge. The visual cue, I'm going with set point as always. Release speed, I got it all the way up. And the stats for this shot is release height is a B+, defensive immunity is a B+, release speed is a A-, and time and stability is a C. You have to have 83 midi or 83 three-pointer to get this jumper. And of course, your height has to be at least 6'10" or up. So all my 6'10" and up builds, you can get this shot right here. And for the stats on this jumper, it has a green window of 45 milliseconds and a peak make percentage of 100%, meaning that if you time this jumper, as long as any part of your timing touches that green window, you're making it 100% of the time. And this jumper is the only jumper in this video with a 100% peak make percentage, so definitely make sure y'all check this one out. Last jumper we got, the base is Michael Porter Jr., release 1 is Kevin Durant, and release 2 is Michael Porter Jr. as well. For the blending, we went with 50-50, release speed all the way up, and of course we're going with set point again for the actual visual cue. Now the stats on this one, for release height we got an A-, defensive immunity we got an A+, release speed we got an A, and time and stability we got a C. For this jumper you have to be at least 6'5", so our tall builds can get this jumper, but you have to have an 85 midi or an 85 3-point. Now for the stats from 2K Lab, we have a green window of 45 milliseconds, a release speed of 573, and a peak make percentage of 98%, which is super high. Very good peak make percentage. So while this jumper does cost a little bit more because it's in the 85 range for the actual attribute, you still should be able to get very consistent results with this jumper, and it's definitely worth it. So if you have a cat breaker, using it to get those set shots higher is going to come in handy because you'll unlock better jumpers like MPJ base with KD base too. Upgrading your middies or using cat breakers on middies or 3-pointers, they benefit you by also getting you set shot, but getting you releases and bases like MPJ and Kevin Durant are where they really come in handy as well. But those are 5 jumpers for y'all for all my taller builds. Make sure you like the video, save it, send it to your taller build friends. If y'all want me to do smaller builds for guards and wings that are under 6'10", I can do that one too. Definitely make sure y'all sub up and like the video and comment what jumpers you're using right now. And if you want to know how to shoot better in 2K, definitely check out my latest upload